Good morning all. So today we are having first lecture on research methodology. So we'll see what are the parameters we are going to learn in this research methodology and the process of the examination also. So as per the screen, I have mentioned the first topic, that is introduction of research methodology. Before that, I'll go through the syllabus, what exactly we are going to study. Now this is the syllabus. In case of the research methodology, we are going to learn about, as I told you, the 6 units are there. In case of in-sem examination, it is having 50 marks, and that 50 marks is given totally by respective subject teacher on the basis of student attendance, student performance, student what discipline students. So according to that, we'll have to give the marks. So there are the criteria regarding assignments, regarding homework. Those students will do the things as per the timeline. So they will definitely get this out of 50 more than 40 marks. And in case of the end-sem examination, it is totally based on university point of view. University are going to conduct this examination. In previous year, as per the COVID situation, they have mentioned the end-sem examination on the basis of multiple choice questions, objective type. So that also question bank and all that things I have provided already for that students. So don't worry, we'll have to study thoroughly for this particular subject, because it will require in your projects how to publish the paper, what should be the kind of the research need to select in our for master program. So these things we are going to learn here. So total 100 mark exam is totally there. Now first unit, basically it is the introduction, in which we are going to learn about why research are need to study. Basically, what is the research, how I can select the research topic, what kind of the objective we need to follow, and what should be the proper methodology to complete that research. So these things means basic things we are going to learn here in case of the introduction. In case of the unit number 2, research problem and research design, after defining the research papers or after defining the literature survey, we are going to directly switch this part to define the research problem. For that defining research problem, we'll have to take a future scope of previous research. Understood? The future points, future scopes, whichever they have mentioned by the author, that we need to focus, and that we can take as a research problem. Understood? So likewise things we'll have to do. If someone is doing something new, some innovations are there, in that case student should check all the detail regarding the previous research paper. And previous research paper will have to study since last 5 years, 2015 onwards research paper you will have to study. It is not like that some topic you have selected in, and that topic has done work, some work has been done on in the times of 1980, and you have directly chosen that topic. No, if you want to select that topic, then you must know the rest of the span, what things are going on. As like, if suppose this topic is from 1980, then you will have to select from 1980 to 2020, what kind of the improvement has been done by the researcher, and what is the scope as a research point of view that you are going to perform in that particular subject. So that is the kind of the research problem statement we need to study here. And for that research design, so research design is nothing but the selection of the variables, selection of the parameters. Remember, while research we are going to do, the number of parameters, unlimited parameters are there. So research is we cannot say we'll have to accomplish, or we'll have to take all the parameters. No, we'll have to take the major parameters which definitely affect the performance. So that we called as a basically research design. Okay, now unit number 3rd, we'll have to see the mathematical modeling and prediction of the performance. In this case, we are going to learn why mathematical modelings are required and how it affect on the performance. That also we are going to check here. It means what? The mathematical modeling is required on the basis of design, calculation and analysis. Why mathematical modeling is required, that we must know first. And then the prediction of the performance after modeling, we are going to predict the performance as like crash analysis. Nowadays, what happened in crash analysis, the model of the vehicle can be prepared on a software, and it can be imported on a ANSYS analysis software, and through which we'll have to give the force and boundary condition, through which we'll have to check the performance of that particular vehicle in case of crash analysis. So in olden days, what happened directly for crash analysis, we'll have to use the vehicle, we'll have to crash it actually, and then we'll have to find out what are the damaged parts, and according to that, we'll have to work on that. So now, as per the technological point of view, we'll have to predict the performance on the basis of software analysis. Understood? So these are the things we are going to study in unit number 3. In case of unit number 4, the basic instrumentation means while doing the research, while defining the methodology, so whatever be the methods we need to follow, for that some requirements of the instruments we need to take. So we need to test rather. So that kind of the instrument may be available in our college or in other college or in government college or in some industries. So for that, we'll have to visit, we'll have to take a permission, and we'll have to visit that particular industry or company, so that we'll have to perform the activity as per our methodology. Remember this, whenever I'll decide objective of my research or methodology of my research, I should not change. So for deciding the things, you will have to take a time, you will have to think over that, and then we'll have to proceed. Because at the end of the project, the researcher or the examiner is always focusing on objectives and methodology correlation, and whether that particular student have followed that or not. So likewise, there will be the consideration regarding this instrumentation part also. Unit number 5 is related with the applied statistic. In this, we are going to check the various analysis parameters. Some kind of the errors are going to perform, some kind of the error percentage we need to find out, some kind of the response we are going to check, that previous responses like this, and now I'm doing the changing the parameter, I'm doing the things, what are the changes in the performance, that we need to find out theoretically, that we called as applied statistics as per the previous experience. Now unit number 6 is totally related with the how to write a research report, how to do the publications. So likewise things are there, and accordingly we'll have to perform the research report writing and the thesis writing for our project. So these things we are going to learn in this year, so that this can be implemented in your seminar as well as a project stages. So this is the actual overview of research methodology. Basically, this is totally a theoretical subject, but as a learner, as a student, from your end or your point of view, you will have to study how I am going to present the research paper within a time, how I can reduce the span of that publication. Because many times I told my students that while publishing the research paper, if you want to publish that research paper in unpaid journals, in that case you will take at least 5 to 6 months, correct, for the publication. So this is huge time, long time. Understood? And as a master student, it is the criteria by the university that you will have to publish minimum 2 research paper on your topic, then and then you are able to come for final viva of your master program. So this kind of the things are there. Now this is the first lecture. In this I am telling you that, so always you should focus on the publication, what are the publication, how I can publish the paper, what should be the less time or less according to the journal point of view, what journal, which journal should require the less time. So that you need to study. If you have any query, then let me know, or you can directly personally contact with me. I'll tell you the things about the research. Okay, so these things are there that we are going to study in this unit number 1 to 6. Of course, this is the publishing research work also. In case of the lab practice, it means a term work point of view. This can be considered in case of INSEM mark assessment. In this, what we are going to learn, see, they have mentioned write a sample research proposal of planned research topic, giving the detail of the topic, importance of the topic, and the requirement of the costing. So that you need to write, and for that research proposal, various committees are there. AICT research approvals are there, UGC approvals are there. So I'll tell you the sites. According to that, you will have to just write the just simple or rough copy of the research proposal, which includes all the important parameter. That points also we are going to study at the time of lectures also. So this kind of the things we need to perform. You have to write this, write a research paper on a review of at least 5 research topic. So this is also one kind of the publication that we need to follow. Now, if anyone has any research topic currently available from your end, then let me know, because right now one of the conference is going on in COEP. We can apply for there and we can publish our review paper also. But for that, the formatting, the research paper collections are required. So if you want to know the information, you can directly contact me. So this is a one kind of the lab practice mentioned by the university. And in addition to that, they have mentioned the formatting and author's guideline to be strictly followed from standard Springer or elsewhere journals. So these are the journals. Remember, while selecting the research topics, we have to select these kind of the journals for research papers. It is not like that. Many students have find the research papers which are locally available. Locally means the work is not up to the mark, or the worth research has not been done in that research paper, that are paid journal. काहीतरी पैसे देऊन ते पब्लिश केलेलं असतं. So we should not refer that. Wrong informations are there. So we'll have to follow the Springer and elsewhere. How to go that Springer and elsewhere journal, I'll let you know in upcoming sessions also, how to search the journals, how to search the research topics and all that. So these things you should include in your lab practice session, and verify the research article for plagiarism and attach the plagiarism report. So this is very important. Plagiarism means the copied content. Many students have done while doing the research paper, they are search on Google and directly copy and paste the things in their research report. So it's of no use. Rather, we can say the copied case. In that case, suppose I'm copying the someone's work, and I just change the title of author, that name of yours. In that case, if you are going to publish the things, so publisher is directly come to know that this is a copied points, because they are having softwares while publishing the things. So they will give the line by line, word by word, what content you have copied. So that copied things they have collect, and they have sent you the message that you are not at all publish the paper in our journal, respective journal. You have banned for lifetime. So this kind of the things are there. Understood? So plagiarism is this much serious. So while writing a research paper, we can say it as a manuscript. What is mean by the manuscript in Sanskrit? We can say the manuscript means handwritten document. Understood? So research paper should be always handwritten. Correct? While writing a research paper, you will have to take a pages and you have to write by your own hand, then you have to type the things in a word template. Understood? So such kind of the lab practice in term of point of view, the points will not get added at the 11th hour. Your term work is you have to write a research proposal and you have to write a one review paper. Understood? So this will be the lab practice point of view. So this is the overall scenario of our subject. In that, I have explained about the crux regarding unit number 1 to unit number 6, and some points regarding lab practice or term work. Have you understood this? Let me know. Okay, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. So The recording sessions are also available. Don't worry. But while presenting the things, you must understood. So I'll explain about the books. So various books are there. We can refer, but I'll suggest from the university point of view, Kothari, Research Methodology, Methods and Trends by the C.R. Kothari, Dr. C.R. Kothari sir, have published the paper, published the book, and that book soft copy I have already sent on your group. So go through it. That is the only requirement. Rest books, no need, I think, from your end, because no need to use these books. Only Kothari is more than sufficient for our subject. Okay, so I'll start with the unit number 1, introduction of research methodology. Just I'll share the screen. So this is the part. So see here, the introduction, just write down the heading, your research methodology, unit number 1, introduction to research methodology. So I'll directly start the meaning of research means what and methodology means what. So one by one I'll explain. So meaning of research is nothing but the innovations that we are going to carry forward from our work, that we called as a research, innovation, uniqueness. So whichever be the parameters they have used or a researcher has been used for that particular subject. So the futuristic parameter I will have to use and I will have to implement in my work, that we called as a research. That's why many of us or lot many researchers have says that research is unending process. I'll quote here one example. You can see in olden days, the government colleges, if you might have seen, the switches, light switches are black colors. So very olden switches, and only one switch is required for one. Suppose I want to start the fan, so one switch is required. Suppose I want to start a tube, different another switch is required. Understood? So that kind of the olden scenario. Nowadays, what we have seen by research, the things the within a single click or by use of the remote control also we can start the fan. In between that fan arrangement, LED also situated at a center. So utilization of the space, that kind of the research also there. Things are like this. Things are changing. In olden days, what happened? The fan is having same speed, we cannot we can't able to change it. Right now the availability of the sensors are also there, the notch switches are also available, the rotation circular switches are there, through which we can adjust the speed also. So this is called as a kind of research that can be done on the various span of the time. So it is not like that I have think the I have imagined the things and I will have to implement within a 1 year. No. Understood? So every research can be take its own time for doing the things. Now in olden days, I think in Naneshwari we have seen, so there was the idea regarding aeroplane. Understood? And right now the uh, people are flying on aeroplane. Understood? So these kind of the changes are there, so that required some span of the research. So this is basically called as a research. In case of the methodology, we can say that methodology is nothing but the process which we need to follow to complete the research. That is called as a methodology. This is very important, and methodology can be defined on the basis of points. Suppose I have to develop the vehicle, I have to develop a car. So methodology should be selection of material. That would be the first methodology. Second, the designing of the material. Third, I definitely will have to chalk out the plan on a basis of dimensional point of view. That will be the third. Fourth, I will have to use a particular software for that analysis. Fifth, I will have to develop the things as per the analysis point of view and validate the things with respect to analysis. Sixth, as per the development, I will have to test the parameter whichever I have selected. So that kind of the sequence we need to follow to complete the research. That is called as a research methodology, or we can say methodology. So basically, the title of our subject, the meaning I have explained you. So let me know, is there any doubt in this title?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll move to next slide. And these slides are also I'm going to share you. Don't worry. Now, second thing, basically, what is research? From the point of a theoretical nature, I'll read the things which I have mentioned, whichever I already have explained. Just find out the things. The systematic method consisting of enunciating the problem, finding the problem, formulating a hypothesis. Hypothesis means, can anyone knows hypothesis means what? Anyone?
Sir, looking like impossible things.
Okay.
Correct. So that
I
can be
don't
say
think.
that yes, good. Imaginary things, or we are predicting the things which are not actually done by the some researcher. So that we called as a hypothesis. Collecting the fact or data, analyzing the facts and reaching certain conclusion. So this is very important. Collecting the fact or data, analyze it, and reaching towards some conclusion. So that we called as a research, either in the form of solution towards the concerned problem or in certain generalization for the same theoretical formulation. Now I'll quote here one example also. In case of wind turbine design, suppose in case of the wind turbine, what happened? Many of researchers done their work theoretically. They have done the analysis, they have predicting the dimensions, and they have done the analysis. So whatever be the outcome from their research is theoretically formulation, that theoretical outcome. But someone has finally developed the model, they have tested, they have finalized the conclusion, that we call as a practically implementation. Understood? And for master students, instead of theoretical, we'll have to use the practical implementation in our project. That is the basic requirement. Understood? So not only analysis things are there and through which we can predict the results. No. Understood? So this is a kind of meaning of research. Basic things are there, that is problem selection, formulation of the problem, predicting the ideas, analyze the problem, and go for the conclusion, either in terms of the practical approach or theoretical approach. After that, the somewhat definition I got from Oxford Dictionary and all that, so I just read it, because you must know the same definition is the concept is same, the wording is different, that's it. So research is nothing but it is a search of knowledge. It is a scientific and systematic search for relevant information on specific topic. Specific is very important. Your topic selection should be specific. How some students are taking welding technology, design and development of welding technology. So that will not be your topic, not at all. Your topic should be that respective type of welding. Suppose we can take submerged arc welding applications, or design and development of submerged arc welding with their applications. So this is the particular topic, specific topic that we need to study. It means that while selecting the topic should not be generalized. It should have some specific points or specific things we need to define. Okay, so according to Oxford Dictionary, I got this definition that a careful inquiry, especially through search for new fact in any branch of knowledge. Understood? So here any branch of knowledge meaning is different. Any branch of knowledge means, suppose as a mechanical student I am developing the electric car. So I must know the electrical parameters. I must know the mechanical approach also. So any branch I should incorporate in my research. Suppose someone are doing coding, which is totally related with the computer branch. I can use coding also in my research. But the core portion should be your respective branch. Suppose you are design engineer. So design parameters should be included maximum percentage as compared to the rest of branch. Understood? So that kind of the mixing is allowed, but whichever be the basic branch that you need to follow. It is not like that as a mechanical engineering student I am doing project on computer technology. No, it is not acceptable. Understood? So a careful inquiry will have to do, for the new innovative facts, new technologies with the particular branch we need to follow. Means while selecting the research topic, we'll have to take these points in our mind for defining the research problem. Now, according to this Clifford Woody, who is the basically done the research, so he has mentioned he was first researcher, I think. So he was done the research and he has defined the things. The research comprises defining and redefining the problem. As I told you, unending process, defining, redefining the formulating hypothesis or suggested solution, collecting, organizing, and evaluating the data, making deduction means optimization, we can say, and reaching conclusion. At last, carefully testing the conclusion to determining whether they fit the formulating hypothesis. So whichever hypothesis we have defined, whether we'll have to reach up to that point or not, or if I reach some percentage, so how many percentage you have reached. So research is nothing but remember a lot many students, my UG students are think for the research that research is that we'll have to complete it at any case. No, if suppose you are doing a research and you got the things like incomplete of that research work, so it does not mean that your research is incomplete. So you have providing the way. If you going to by this methodology, you will not achieve the success. That is also kind of research, understood? So most of the things NASA have developed the satellite and all that. So in that case also most of the satellite are not working, understood? There are some problems. So it doesn't mean that they have not done research. So they have done the research and in next launching they have implement the things, improve the things, and they can launch. So that is a kind of research also. That's why they require too much time. It is not like that within a 6 month, within a span of 2 month they have launched the things every alternate year or every alternate month. No, there are the researcher, there are the experiences that we need to follow, and according to that they are developing the things. Now, this is a kind of definition I got. Research is an organized set of activities to study and develop a model of procedural technique. This we called as a methodology. Yeah? To find the result of a realistic problem supported by literature and data. Literature is very important here because literature means the previous year research paper will have to study, will have to find out the crux through which, and data such that its objectives are maximized. So basically, while doing the research, after completion of research, we cannot define the objective. Before completion of the research or before, after deciding the title, we'll have to define the objective. So we'll have to maintain this sequence. I'll tell you the sequence of the research. First is always introduction of that particular research topic. Then second thing, historical background. Third thing, literature review, research paper survey we called. And remember, in for the master program, minimum 50 plus research paper will have to study. 50 plus. And believe me, as a teacher, for reading one research paper, for understanding one research paper, I required maximum 4 to 5 days. Understood? So that kind of the language they have used in their research paper. I'll send you some research publications, research papers on your group, so you can go through it. You will realize that, of course, this much time is required for reading and understanding the research paper. Understood? This will be the third step to finding the research survey. Fourth step will be research gap. Whichever be the gap we need to follow, or whichever be the research paper literature which we have found, so that gap we need to find out. That is very important. So that gap, and through which we'll have to define the title. After research gap, fifth one be finding the problem statement. Sixth would be designing the things. Seventh would be the analyze the things. Eight point will be the development. Ninth will be testing. 10th will be validation, and 11th will be your conclusion. So this kind of the research will have to perform for master program. After that, some terminologies are very important. As I told you, as we have seen in the definition, we have to collect the data, we have to use the principle, we have to take the reference of laws, so that we need to follow the important parameters, some important things I have explained here, as like data is very important. Understood? Some UG students are doing, my students, UG students are doing, so they are coming with the topic and they're telling that this is unique topic, sir, and I am the only person in the world that doing this topic. No, totally wrong, totally wrong. It is not like that, because they have not gone through the data. So for that, data is important, the worldwide research, what is going on, that we must know, and then we'll have to say like this, the unique structure is there, I have mentioned, or I'm going to do that. So the data collection is very important. Suppose many of UG students are doing the research, and they have find the conclusion that this is the unique nature and this is the product, and same project done by the some another student in another university. So it's of no use. Understood? So lack of data or many things. Right now, just day before yesterday, I have heard about the topic from UG student: generation of the electricity from speed breaker. This is very old topic. Actually, this was very old topic. So, but the nowadays this generation students are saying that something is new and this is not at all workable yet, and I'm going to generate the electricity to the through the speed breakers. No, so that research is going on right now, or in the market. They are not using because of their cost. There are some limitations are there. That's why they are not using. It doesn't mean that I am the only researcher. No. So that's why the collection of the fact, what will be the status of that particular research in a current year, that we need to follow, and we'll have to gather the data, and through which we'll have to finding the parameters. That is very important. So these things will have to focus through data while selecting research problem. Then second thing is hypothesis. As we have seen, hypothesis is nothing but the imaginary things which we are going to predict, and that will be called as assumptions also. So that we need to think as like, you must know the single acting cylinder. In that case, the stroke length and the crank, it is having some relation. That is, stroke length should be twice of the crank length. Correct? So that we called as assumptions. Understood? In case of the designing of the quarter joint, we'll have to consider the maximum length of the quarter should be twice of the diameter of the shaft. So that we call hypothesis, that assumptions, and it can be coming directly from previous experience, previous study, previous practical approaches. So that will be called as a hypothesis. Then independent variable, this is very important. First of all, I'll tell you variable means what. Variable means the parameters which we are going to consider for our defining the research problem. Now, while defining the things, the parameters are unlimited. So कुठलाही तुमचा रिस्पेक्टिव्ह सब्जेक्ट गाईड तुम्हाला म्हणणार नाही की बाबा एक 100 पॅरामीटर्स घे आणि यूज दॅट 100 पॅरामीटर्स इन युअर रिसर्च. नॉट ॲट ऑल पॉसिबल. त्याला 10 वर्ष लागतील. इट विल टेक ऑलमोस्ट मोर दॅन 10 years टू complete the work. Understood? So the selection of the variable which are surely responsible for outcome, so that we need to select, and there are the two types in case of the variables. I'll quote one example here. Suppose I'm considering the electrical vehicle. In that case, variables are the battery is very important. Correct? The battery voltage, battery current are the variables through which the bulb is ignited or energy can be transmitted. Correct? So this kind of the variables are there that are dependent variable, because through which it can be work, that is dependent variable. In case of electrical vehicle, the chassis, the outline structure, the aesthetics, that are independent variable, because of the changing aesthetic, because of the changing color of a car, engine will not reduce their efficiency. Understood? So this will be the basic difference in between variable and below that type of independent and dependent variable. Have you understood this? Let me know. Are you getting it? Okay. Clear. So these things are there in case of the dependent and variables. Now, after that, the population is very important. It means for that particular subject, how many research are or what kind of the research trend followed by the author or researcher, that we need to check in case of the population. So population means the number of times or maximum time that particular research topic is used, that we call it as a population. Correct. Then review. In case of review, we can say a research paper that is a critical evaluation of the research on a particular topic. As I told you, you will have to study the last 5 years research papers, what they have expected, what they have done, and what they have not able to perform, that we can say futuristic approach. So that we need to find in case of the review. Understood? So this kind of the scenario or review of the particular research topic we need to find out. After the session, I'll send some research papers also, some review papers also. Just go through it. Not no need to read it. Just go through it. What kind of the sequence they have mentioned, how many number of research paper they have referred, because a lot many times research survey means what students are doing, 4 to 5 paper they have collect and they have studied. No, more than 50 papers you need to study, you need to understand, you need to refer each and every technology and then proceed for this next thing. So that will be the review. So review is indication what at what level work has been done till date. So that we called as a review. Huh? So this is about review. Then research proposal and synopsis, or we can say it as a synopsis. Now synopsis is nothing but the formal preparation that include the introduction, review, and proposed method for conducting that particular study. You, it means that in research proposal, it is not like that I have done something. If I am plan something, that is also valid, that is also applied in case of the synopsis. And every researcher, before developing or before starting their work, he has to develop the synopsis. In my case, I would say in while doing the doctorate or while doing the PhD, for synopsis we have given 1 year from my guide. So I have spent totally 1 year from for that synopsis only. So in that I have defined the parameters, defined the methodology, defined the objectives, which I'm not going to change at last. Understood? So that kind of the research proposal and things will have to perform while writing synopsis. Now, what is research methodology? I have already explained you, but I'll read it in because I have mentioned in another words. It is defined as a highly intellectual human activity. Why highly intellectual? Because something new, something innovative that common man cannot be think. So that I will have to consider for my research problem, that we called as a highly intellectual human activities used in the investigation of a nature and matter, and deals specifically with the manner in which data is collected, analyzed, and interpreted. These three things are very important: collection of the data, analyze the data, interpret the data. I'll explain. Suppose I have collected more than 50 research papers. So it is not like that for particular research topic, all the 50 research papers are used. No, not at all possible. So for that, I will have to analyze whichever be the suitable for our case. Understood? So that I will have to sort out. So that will be called as analyze the things. Out of the 50 research paper, 20 research papers are directly related with my topic. That will be the analysis. And interpreted. Interpreting means what? Out of that 20 research paper, 2 research papers are whatever be the parameters selected in that 2 research paper, whatever be the test has been conducted by the researcher in that particular research paper, I need to follow or I am able to follow. Understood? So that we called as an interpretation. So likewise things are there. It is not like that the analyze the paper you can directly by the searching the Google. No. Interpretation directly by the searching on Google. No. You will have to spend the time. You will have to find the things and then we'll have to define. Likewise, we have to implement this research culture. Then a system of model, procedure, techniques used to find the result of research problem is called research methodology. So here one point I have remember regarding research. So we should not select our research topic as a hypothesis things. Remember this, very important. Because most of the student what they are doing, they are selecting the topic like air car, such kind of the topic, which is not at all right now working in India. Not at all. The scientists are working on that about the system. Understood? So they have taken the topic like master program air car. So basically for master program or in our case, what is the requirement? Requirement you will have to develop the analysis, model, testing. So for air car, how I can test? If I'm going to test it, I will have to require 4 to 5 years for doing the things. So this much time is not available with us. We'll have to take a crux point. So research topic should be achievable. This is very important. That topic should be achievable. You can get it. You have to search the things and you can get it within a year. That kind of the research approach or research topic you need to select every time. So this is about the research methodology. Some terminology we have seen. Now, objectives of research. This is very important because students are defining the objectives and lastly, they have changed the objectives. So it's of no use because why they have changed? As per the consideration. Suppose they have defined the objectives that I am going to use this software for FEA analysis, and at the time of the working or at the time of working on that research problem, they realize that your FEA analysis is very difficult. How I can do? What parameter I should think? So I should not go there. So I have to skip it. But you have mentioned the first point is FEA analysis. So external should ask what kind of FEA analysis will do or will perform, what methodology you have adopted, why FEA analysis is necessary. So these three questions should be there and student get stuck there. So again, incompletion remark on their research project. So instead of that, you will have to define the proper objective which should be achievable through particular methodology. That is very important always. Okay, so some points they have mentioned, I'll read it. To gain the familiarity with the phenomena, it means suppose I'm using single acting cylinder in a vertical direction. So there is a nature that will have to consider the gravity force also. So that there should be the familiarity in between whatever the laws, principles are required for that particular subject that we need to consider. Second, to portray accurately the characteristic of a particular individual situation or a group. This is very important because while searching the things, we'll get the path, we'll get the direction, and we need to follow that direction. It is not like that the we are thinking widely and we are disturbing the things, we are changing the path while doing the research by like the analysis. Once they are doing, some students are doing analysis, some students are doing development directly, some students have directly test it and then again write the objective. It's of no use. Understood? So that we need to define. To determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with the something else, means basic reference should be required for the defining the objectives. Then to identify the causal relationship. Causal relation means what is the reason why I have chosen this objective. So there should be the reason and that reason should be hide in research papers. Correct? So through which we can find out the objectives in research work in our conditions. So have you understood this? The what are the objectives I told you? What are the things that we have I told you? Okay, Satyajit, no problem. So this is a kind of objective structure. So somewhat definition I got regarding objective I have quoted over here. I'll just read it. In case of the objectives, you can see to gain the familiarity with the phenomena as like previous one, same. So formulating a research study, of course, we'll have to check the laws, principle, formulation, which can be already incorporated in that we need to take it. Some students are doing research on a formulation basis also. They have taken a reference of laws and they have developed the equations. So that is also appreciable part of the research, that someone has doing some new equation to incorporate the things while going to that research. So this is also valid. Again, the characteristic, the descriptive research study should be there in case of the individual particular situation they have mentioned to determine the frequency as like with which the whatever the parameter required, and that kind of the diagnostic we need to find. It is not like that the path is not defined, go here and there and doing the research, some what we can say काम चलाऊ work. No, so that is not at all acceptable. And the hypothesis we need to consider, but that hypothesis should have some path. Understood? So such kind of the things we need to consider while developing the research area. Now, motivation of research is also very important activity. In case of the motivation, what happened? Whether that research topic is done by lot many person, and as a researcher, I am thinking that nothing new in that. So it is not like that. This motivation comes from discussion. If you have discussed the things of research related that topic with the particular person, those who have done the research in their work in that topic, so then the motivation parameter comes. Suppose I am doing work on engine and some engine patents has been developed by some researcher, and that researcher are currently working in suppose college of engineering. So I must meet him. Correct? I must meet him. I will have to discuss his idea. I will have to discuss the interest, why I'm having this interest, create the interest in this idea, what should be the part I will have to do in this if I take this as a research topic. So this kind of the discussion is there, and that is the motivation part in the research. Many times what happened, the author of particular book is, or author of particular researcher is not found by our side. In that case, we'll have to take a help of a library. NIT IIT's libraries are there, so there are the availability of the thesis directly, books, so through which also you can take a motivation. So this is the motivation part through which you will have to select the research. It is not like that once I have selected the topic, I have worked for 4 to 5 months. After that, I realize it is not our cup of tea and I have leave the topic. No, it is again hampering your time, your valuable time, precious time. It is totally wasted. So that's why while selecting the topic, you will have to inquire the things. You will have to take a motivation for that particular topic. It is not like many students are coming like this. I think two of my B students are they're regularly on a weekly basis they are coming. Sir, do you have any research topic? Let us know. We'll do work. Do you have any research topic? No. See, if I'm going to give the topic, it means that they have to do the things as per my level. Understood? What are my expectation? According to that, they have to work. Otherwise, I will not consider their research. So these kind of the things are there. Of course, suppose some teacher is having any idea and he really want to implement it, then definitely go for it. That is a kind of motivation also, because everyone is, or UG level students are not trying to meet some authors, not trying to go for IIT, NIT libraries. They are directly motivation from their respective subject teacher or guide. So these kind of the things we'll have to consider. Another motivation factor is, of course, desire to get intellectual joy, personal joy, that personal achievement. Yes, I'm having this challenging topic and I'm very interested to work in that. So this is a kind of motivation. Understood? And next is, of course, whatever things we are doing, that is for society. Whether it is applicable for society or not, that is important. So we need to consider that service also. And then design to get the respect, desire to get the respectability. Suppose someone is at doing the patent and that patent is awarded, and after avoiding, the government of India has decided to use this patent for regular work, then what kind of the respect that particular person is get, and that feeling is totally different. So these are the basic motivational things behind this research. So are you getting it, the things which we have studied today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the kind. So I'll wind up the session, today's session. Now, in this session, I'll conclude. We have seen what is research, firstly, why research methodology is important. We have seen the syllabus also. Then a definition of research, we have seen the meaning of research in various terms. After studying the terms, what are the inputs are required for the research, that also we have seen. After that, what kind of the methodology we need to follow, that also we have seen. Then how to define the objectives, that also we have seen the sequentially, what are the objective, what should be the sequential process for that. And lastly, we have discussed about the motivational type in case of the research, what kind of the motivation we need to use for performing the research work. So this is today's session. Let me know anyone has any doubt. Let me know any doubt. Okay, I think
No.
there is a no doubt. Okay, okay, no doubt from your end. So
Sir,
yes,
may I know what what type of creative work stands for?
creative work means the things which are not done yet. That we called as a creative things. But creative things is not will be our topic. Understood? Because creative things need to implement. So that implementation, if it is possible from our point of view within a year, that will be the creative implementation. So these two things are different, Ashish.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So shall I stop here for today's session?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll stop, and your next lecture will be start on as per the schedule. That is on 11:15. So you just join it. Advanced stress analysis, very important subject. So you just join it for that session. So whatever be the session we have covered, just revise it the things, and if any query, let me know. So we'll stop
Sir,
here. Thank you. Yes, any doubt?
sir, can we have a PPT of this?
Definitely. After completion of the particular unit, I'll share PPT in PDF format on our group. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, we'll meet. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Satya bhai.